This clip is for the development of EFL-ESL dictionaries from the year 2020 onward. This slide shows the overview of the presentation. First, a historical overview of English dictionary development is presented, and then a daunting or challenging task for the fourth generation dictionary development is briefly discussed. After that, contents that make an EFL-ESL dictionary more user-friendly and competitive are introduced, based on the newly published English dictionary for Japanese English learners, called Wisdom, 4th edition. The first part is the history of EFL-ESL dictionary development. I briefly summarized in what order some popular or major English dictionaries have been developed over years, and some of the important features of them. If you are interested in any part of these slides, you can just pause and take a look at the slide. The point here is we are now in the fourth generation of EFL-ESL dictionary development, and we usually heavily depend on large corpora and concordances and statistics such as MI or Mutual Information Score and a T-score for collocation to correctly capture the typical usage of each entry. I cited and summarized some of the advantages of using a corpus or corpora for dictionary development from Inoue 2016. Such advantages are, for example, you can capture linguistic features, facts, or findings of a target expression that haven't been dealt with in previous studies. Or another thing is, you can avoid possible risks of depending on the limited number of informants. I do not read all of these advantages here, but now the corpus is vital for dictionary development. As presented in the previous slide, there are a number of strengths and advantages of using a corpus for dictionary development. The flip side of the coin is dictionaries by different publishers look more or less similar to each other in terms of definitions for each entry word and example sentences and phrases to show the typical usage. And now it is very difficult to putting in some original and competitive contents in an EFL-ESL dictionary. This is the task we face when we develop a new EFL-ESL dictionary. In this context, the rest of the slides present what make a newly developed EFL-ESL dictionary more competitive and more user-friendly. And for that, I will focus on Wisdom 4th, published in 2019. The dictionary is for Japanese English learners, but the features presented here will be applicable to an EFL-ESL dictionary targeted for any language users. Among some of the features of Wisdom 4th, this clip focuses on three things. The first one is the number of entries. Probably it is one of the most straightforward ways to make the content of a dictionary richer. But we cannot just add items randomly. Instead, we have to carefully decide what makes the proper set of vocabulary items. Searching what words are frequently used in various media these days helps for this purpose. For Wisdom 4th, we added 2,000 new items. The slide shows some of the examples. The acronyms like IDK, meaning I don't know, or the word webcomic are good examples. These were not so often observed some time ago, but they are used more often than before, and we believe these are important entries for English learners. The second point is setting a signpost for particular items. In Wisdom 4th, we created a special logo for entry words with low frequency but have a social, cultural, and educational or practical significance for target dictionary users, in this case, Japanese English learners. The slide shows some examples from A section of the dictionary. For example, double A does not so frequently appear in a corpus, but this is the kind of word Japanese English learners want to learn. To highlight such items, we put the logo, kanji or Japanese character here, meaning daily life. Usually we cannot spare space for example phrases or sentences to show the usage of these low-frequency items, but for AA, along with the signpost, we put the phrase run on 2 AA Badlies. In the dictionary, AA is regarded as E-ranked entry, which means the lowest frequency. Apparently, we cannot put example phrases or sentences for all E-ranked entries, but by adding the signpost, we can draw users' attention to particular entries with low frequency. The last point is highlighting particular expressions for academic purposes. We expect undergraduate or graduate students or researchers and teachers use our dictionary, so we created another signpost to highlight expressions often used in academic discussions, presentations, research papers, and so forth. The slide shows some examples of eye-catchy red signposts for this purpose. They show the popular way some vocabulary items are used in an academic context. Along with example sentences or phrases that shows the typical usage of the entry words, as presented here, words like approach, assume, and association from A section of the dictionary, useful expressions for academic purposes are marked with the red signpost. They will help learners to read and write academic theses or research papers. The point is, by creating signposts for a particular purpose, we can put more useful information for dictionary users. Future dictionaries do not have to apply exactly the same signposts, but these at least shows what aspect we should spend more time and energy to develop a good competitive EFL/ESL dictionary. The last slide is the reference. Thank you for watching.